the myth of apocalyptic dignity. We've all seen The Walking Dead, right? Rick Grimes. He represents the fading warmth of the old world. He tries to preserve his humanity in the mud, but in doing so, he sacrifices himself and everyone around him. I call this the hero's tax. Every time Rick clings to mercy, someone pays in blood. In my world, Rex Carter is the first Synchronizer, and I made a promise. He will not pay a single cent of that tax. So, why Rex? Why did the system pick a digital hermit? Many ask, is the NGS just a cheat code? No, it is a precise filtration. The system didn't pick a soldier. It picked a rational man who read the survival code correctly. Rex was chosen because he possesses the EXECUTOR traits that humanity desperately lacked. First, extreme isolation. As a digital hermit, he was naturally shielded from the day one biomass collapse. He was safe while the world burned. Second, logic over emotion. We see hints of this. He's a hardcore gamer. Elden Ring, WOW. This isn't just a hobby. It implies his brain is wired to adapt to brutal, complex systems. He can observe slaughter with the cold eye of a strategist. And third, the builder's mindset. He is not a chaotic destroyer. He is a creator of systems. He filters the chaos. Let's look at the core philosophical difference between the old world and the new. Remember that scene with Rick and Glenn? Smearing walker guts on themselves? Ugh, terrified, loathing every second of it. That is biological camouflage. That is a passive disguise born of terror. They were borrowing a path from death. Rex's way? It is systemic reconstruction. He doesn't need the stench of blood. The system modifies his existence at the fundamental frequency. To a walker, he isn't prey. He is the environment. He is one of them. Rick is hiding from the end of the world. Rex is embracing the law of the fittest. This homogenization trait is his first-class ticket to dominion. Perhaps in the future, he won't just walk among them. He will command them, like a necromancer of the digital age. Now, let's address the game of shadows between Rex and Susan. Some critics say, he's cruel. Listen, Rex does not force her. He simply revokes the cheap charity of the old world. He offers a voluntary gambit. Through the system, Rex sees that Susan has A-class genetic potential. But he doesn't seize it by force. He sets a price. Show me your potential, or starve in your old morality. He forces Susan to realize that her old world status, her beauty, her job, her social standing, is now zero. Her submission is not a defeat by violence.
Letting the words sink in. That sounds like a you problem, Susan. And the last time I checked, all in this together meant waiting in line for a lukewarm latte. Out there, I gestured vaguely toward the lethal zombie-infested courtyard. Out there is the law of the jungle, and I didn't write that law.
It is a conscious acceptance of the new world's law of transaction. This is the beginning of her evolution.
A guy named Thomas breaks in. He was Susan's husband, a tier 0 threat holding a tire iron. In the old world, a hero would say, "Put the weapon down, let's talk." Rex? Rex sees the structural weakness in Thomas's wrist. Strength 20 points versus human bone. Crack. He doesn't negotiate. He throws Thomas off the balcony. And he delivers one of my favourite lines in the book. Gravity's a bitch, Tom. Thomas wasn't a tragedy. He was a dinner bell for the zombies outside. That is efficiency.
Some might still ask, has Rex lost his soul? As the author, I argue that Rex's approach is the truest form of respect. He doesn't treat Susan as a burden to be saved. He treats her as a high-potential opponent in a game of survival. Compare that to Rick's heavy, dragging heroism that led so many to their graves. Rex's transactional philosophy ensures the stability of the core. By filtering for individuals willing to trade pride for evolution, he builds an order that will never collapse. Conclusion: the Scoundrel's Ledger.
And she saw that in this world, being a scoundrel wasn't a flaw. It was the only way to stay at the top of the food chain. I looked at the genetic archive shimmering in my mind.
The title of Chapter 1 is Hoard Everything. But Rex brings home more than just cans of food. He brings home the power of the transaction.
And next week? Well, the landlord is coming to collect rent. But I don't think he knows that in Rex's apartment, the rent is paid in souls. All right, that's the behind the scenes for today. If you want to see exactly how Rex executes this plan, go watch the full episode of the Genesis Scoundrel right now. The link is in the description. And hey, I want to hear from you. Drop a comment below. Tell me, who should Rex delete next? Give me your darkest plot suggestions. I might just write them in. Finally, make sure you smash that subscribe button for SSSFM99. You don't want to miss the next update from the apocalypse.
This is SSSFM99. Signal is unstable. Subscribe and enable notifications to maintain the connection. Stay connected. Stay alive.